Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Bhagavad Gita series, including Bhakti Shastri, and for those who are attending just for learning Bhagavad Gita. We will get started with Mangalacharan. I will share my screen and we will do Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutha Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Okay. Start from where we left off. Yeah. So we stopped at 9.21, but we'll just quickly cover 20 and 21. Really, just summarize it. Lord Krishna, this is the chapter on Bhakti of Lord Sri Krishna. Oh, I didn't share the slides. Hold on. Okay. All right. So it's called the most confidential knowledge, but it is all about Krishna Bhakti. And in this chapter, Lord Krishna is describing in detail the importance or the significance of doing Krishna Bhakti, that how important it is to do Bhakti, and that is really the only way, the most practical, and therefore really the only way. Theoretically, there may be other ways, but really there is only one way to attain the love of Krishna, to attain Sri Krishna, to really attain moksha, even in this Kali Yuga specifically, because the Bhagavad Gita was spoken at the beginning of Kali Yuga. It is meant for Kali Yuga. So he has been describing basically the various, he described the pure devotees, then he described the asuras, and then he described that there are people in between who are worshipping some, or who are performing some kind of, or attempting to follow some kind of spiritual path. One of them are those who are performing worship of the demigods, or who are faithful or with Shraddha. Worship doesn't just mean like put on the altar, but have their faith in the devatas. And that is the section we are on. So 20 and 21 Lord Krishna is bringing that into focus, and he is saying that people may not know fully that what exactly is a spiritual path, especially those who follow the Vedas. They think that everything in the Vedas is completely spiritual, is directly leading to a spiritual goal. A large part of the Vedas talks about worship of the devatas and um, promotes worship of devatas by also inculcating good qualities, mode of goodness, by doing punya, so by doing pious activities. And by these things, Lord Krishna says in the 20th and 21st verse, Te punyam asadhya surendra lokam, that they attain the planet of Indra, Surendra Loka. In the next verse, he says, Te tvam bhuktva swarga lokam vishalam. So they attain swarga or Surendra Loka, and they do not know that this swarga is also in the material world. So they go there, and yes, they have a very long life of enjoyment. Te tvam bhuktva swarga lokam vishalam. But what happens there is that there is some, kindly stay on mute. Okay. There is, where was I? They don't realize that even in Swargaloka, it's not eternal. It's not one's stay in Swargaloka is not eternal, is not everlasting. Kshine punye martya lokam vishanti. That when their pious credits have been used up, then they come back to martya lokam, to this earthly planet. And in this way, gata gatam kama kama labhante, that they keep going up and down, up and down. So in this next slide, what I have tried to show is the same thing, that after great enjoyment in Swarga, so it's like you work hard. This little guy here, he is working, slogging his guts out and earning money, saving some money for his vacation time. Then he goes and enjoys a wonderful vacation in the Bahamas or Hawaii or wherever. But when he's enjoying the vacation, what is happening? What is happening is that his bank balance or his credit card balance, whatever, is depleting. And once it is depleted, the hotel or wherever the resort he is in kicks him out. They are not going to keep him infinitely, that you have been a very good customer, we will, just let you stay. It's all about how much balance you have in your bank. As soon as the balance is over, they kick him out. But he is so he feels that this enjoyment that he has received in this resort is so nice, he wants it again. So he goes back to this cycle of hard work, save money, and like that the cycle goes on. And in this, now one may think that, okay, to gain something you have to lose something, or there are so many phrases or sayings or proverbs like that. That is true, but what is not obvious is that in both these places, in both these situations, there is suffering. There is temporary happiness, but it is not free of suffering. Many times I have experienced, I have never gone to Hawaii, I have never gone to Bahamas, I have gone to small vacations. Even I have gone to Vrindavan, for example. Even there, we think that, oh, I have a whole week in Vrindavan and then I fall sick. Or, somebody's passport is lost. It happened. Somebody's phone is lost. Now, whole day he was busy filing a FIR, deleting his or whatever, locking his phone. So many things. You come to Vrindavan for a pleasant experience. It can definitely happen in Hawaii or anywhere. My point is that it's not free of suffering. Even just on a good holiday, sitting at home, I know that today I've worked hard. The weekend is coming. and tomorrow is a completely free day. I don't have any classes to give. Nobody else is coming to whose class I have to attend. There are no appointments. Nobody is coming to meet me. Completely, the calendar is free. It's completely free. I will sleep early. I will get up early. I will do whatever I want to do, Bhagavatam study, or, maybe I don't know. For somebody, maybe watch a movie, something, something, something. You have a plan, and it's a very, beautiful plan for tomorrow. It doesn't have to be a vacation time. And for me, for example, you wake up in the morning with a bad migraine. So, you make all the plans, and then something happens to just completely ruin what you had planned to do. So, it's not always true that, yes, you have to work hard and it is guaranteed that you will have a good time after that. So this is what Lord Krishna is talking about, and that is true even in going to Swargaloka, then coming back from there. Even while in Swargaloka, people know, those who are there, oh, my time is getting up. They are always counting, when will I be kicked out of here? That itself is a big misery. When there are no miseries, there is always room for some misery. The smallest misery becomes the biggest. So that is what Lord Krishna is talking about. Gata gatam kama kama labhante. This cycle keeps going on and on and on, and one is completely trapped. Now, Lord Krishna gives the final contrast, and then he will go into the discussion of bhakti fully. So this is the final contrast, stark contrast. And verse number 22 is a very beautiful verse. And in this verse, Lord Krishna makes some very bold statements and boosts the confidence of the devotees. Basically, he's calling out to everyone to say that my bhakti, not only my bhakti, my exclusive bhakti. He's not at all ashamed in saying this. He's saying this clearly. One can think he is like a narcissist, or like he wants everybody's attention. But he is not saying this for his benefit. When we say that, we say because we want everybody's attention. We need something. Whether they want to give or not is not what we think about. We don't think of their welfare. We think of our welfare. Here, when Krishna is saying that I want, or the best thing for you to do is my Ananya Bhakti, exclusive one-pointed Bhakti, he is only saying this for our benefit. Just like a father tells a child, stay at home, don't go out. The child may say he's a narcissist. He wants me always to stay with him, not go out. But we all know that that's not at all the case. He is saying, don't go out, always stay with me. Hold my hand in a crowded place. Father will say, hold my hand tight. Don't go anywhere. You wouldn't say he's like, trying to be too possessive of me, that he doesn't want me to hold anybody else's hand. It is for the child's protection. So that is the reason Lord Krishna is saying, don't put your foot in many boats. I'm translating from Hindi ki, do नाव में पैर नहीं रखना चाहिए. So put all your eggs in one basket. Lord Krishna is saying, focus on my Ananya Bhakti. And that is the essence of. And he says, I will take care of the rest. Not only that, he's giving a promise. He's saying, I will not abandon you. So it's a very, very confidence building verse in that sense, that he's saying, like a father says, just hold my hand tight and you will not get lost. And you will have a lot of fun in this whatever crowded place like India. You go to a mela, just a exhibition or a fair, you'll have fun. All you have to do is hold my hand tight. Otherwise, all the fun will be ruined. So verse number 22, very, very beautiful verse. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So, ananya chintayanto mam. So, every single word is important. Ananya means exclusive, ananya, forgetting, leaving everything else aside. Chintayanto mam, always think of me. Chintan means to focus the mind. So, which means that in your mind, in your heart, this is the essence of bhakti. It's not only when you are doing acts of bhakti, direct acts of bhakti, when you are worshipping in the temple or in front of your personal deities or reading Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, even when you are driving, even when you are talking to someone, having this realization strongly in your heart that Bhagwan is always watching me. Every word that will come out of your mouth will be devotional. You will realize that you are, if people also know this guy is such a nice devotee of Bhagwan, you are carrying the name of Bhagwan on your head. Automatically the realization will be there that I am representing Bhagwan. If I be a jerk, they will think that he is pretends to be devotee of Bhagwan. What kind of devotee he is? He's such a jerk. So this consciousness will be also be there in the mind. I have to behave nicely with others because I am representing my dear Lord. And when you are not interacting with others, whatever we are doing, always feeling the protection of Bhagavan. So if anything is not going according to your desires, it's okay. Maybe that's what Krishna wants. So that is called Ananyas. I will speak about this more. Otherwise, these are very important points. This is the essence of Krishna Bhakti. It's not just when you're doing your japa or when you're doing kirtan. It's 24/7. The last thought that should come when you go to sleep should be of Krishna. Now, I cannot control what happens during sleep. So let's keep that aside. Very pure devotees even think of Krishna when they are sleeping also. So I don't know about that stage at all. But at least we can control what we do before going to sleep and after we wake up. Always have Krishna in your heart. It's not an easy thing, but this is Ananya Bhakti. It's a very high level of Bhakti. And it requires us. Bhakti is no longer a component of our life. We say we have to compartmentalize our life. All that is nonsense. Bhakti has to be the compartment which is below all the other compartments. It is there as a constant or a perpetual layer in our life, on top of which other things stand. Our family, our job, profession, whatever it is. But bhakti has to be there as the constant factor in all situations. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate. So by like this, those who worship me. So worship of Bhagwan is to keep Bhagwan in your heart. One small part is what we see externally, maybe offering a lamp or offering a flower or offering water is a tiny part of what we call worship. We think that is the only thing. That is tiny part. Keeping Bhagwan in our heart all the time is what is bhakti. Ye janah paryupasate. What Krishna is saying is that those who worship me like this, like how? Ananyas chintayanto mam. Therefore, the best kind of worship is to always think of Krishna. What Krishna does, tesham nitya abhiyuktanam, people who are always nitya, again it is coming, the word that in another verse it was there, satatam kirtayanto mam. And again it is coming, tesham nitya abhiyuktanam, and those who are yukta, engaged, always, nityam, always in this way, which means keeping me in their heart. and then going about doing any necessary activities that they need to do. Then last line is very important. Yoga kshemam vahamya aham. That I protect their bhakti. Yoga, this bhakti yoga, I protect. Vahami and kshema. So both kshema and vahami. Kshema means to protect. Their bhakti I protect, and vahami means I increase. So their bhakti, I will make sure that their bhakti is never diminished, never depleted, never impacted. So if you do pure bhakti of Bhagwan, never there will be a situation where anybody will have any way to impact it. Some people come and say, I was doing very nice bhakti. This other devotee came and did so and so thing to me. I became disinterested in bhakti, or he impacted my bhakti. Because of his behavior, I got impacted. That will not happen. If you are doing bhakti in the right way, bhakti is very personal. Nobody can impact your bhakti. Nobody. Even if they try to physically harm you or your loved ones, bhakti can never be impacted. So much happened to the Pandavas. So much happened to Prahlad Maharaj. So much happened to Ambarish Maharaj. Direct physical attack. Their bhakti was not moved even by 1 nanometer. So Bhagwan is saying that I preserve their yoga kshemam, and I carry. And by the way, it is not just bhakti. Bhagwan preserves if he knows, not if he knows, he knows. If material situation will impact our bhakti, he will preserve the material situation also. Please, that is the understanding. Ultimate goal is Bhagwan preserves our bhakti. For a devotee, he will never let material things come in the way of our bhakti. If he thinks that this devotee, if he loses this material possession, his bhakti will really be impacted. Bhagwan will preserve that material position. Sometimes Bhagwan takes away material possessions, but he only takes away to the extent that our bhakti will not be impacted. In fact, the devotee is happy. Actually, I was trying to get rid of it. Because of my attachment, I was not able to. Bhagwan took it away. Thank you. Good riddance. In many cases, it is like that. In many cases. So, and if we feel impacted, our position should be that our bhakti is not strong. We should get good guidance. Good guidance in bhakti is very important. So when we get good guidance, our bhakti becomes stronger. We should come to the point where we realize how important is bhakti and how unimportant is everything else. Really, we should come to that point to understand how unimportant in our tiny little life is everything else. We have some youth here in this class who may be like, I don't know, 15, 20 years old. So they have maybe 80 years ahead of them to live. And we have many seniors in the class who may have like 15, 20, 30 years ahead of them. Regardless of how much time you have left in front of you, it is tiny. To perfect our bhakti in our life, whether we have 70, 80 years or we have 10 years, both are equally small. So we must, it's not that the young people should realize, "Arey, abhi bahut time hai." Lot of time is there. We'll worry about it when we retire. That is the wrong thinking. Prahlad Maharaj says in 7.6, Canto 7, Chapter 6, I think, first verse, that bhakti should be done right from the earliest age of life. earliest possible age. Somebody can maybe confirm 7.6.1. Prahlad Maharaj says this in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so that is little bit on 9.22. Quick recap through the slides. For my Shuddha Bhaktas who are always absorbed in my thoughts only, that is real bhakti, to be absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. Satatam smartavyah Vishnu vismartavyah na jatuchit. This is a very important verse in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Always remembering Vishnu and never forgetting Vishnu. And are always doing activities of my bhakti. Abhiyuktanam, nitya abhiyuktanam. What does Bhagwan do as a reciprocation? I preserve what they have to preserve their bhakti, and I progress their bhakti as well. So Srila Prabhupada, there is this beautiful story of Yamunacharya. I think it's there in the purport by Srila Prabhupada. That's why I put it here. I think you may have all heard this story of Yamunacharya. Not Yamunacharya, Arjunacharya. He was very poor, but a great devotee. And he was writing a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. And when he came to this verse, he was unable to feel that this is true because he was so poor. It is said that his children were crying for milk. He was so poor that he could not even feed his children properly. So he did not write the commentary, and he went for a bath. And so what he did before that, he put a red line on that line, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. He was so disturbed, and to show that, to preserve his bhakti, he was a great devotee, and Bhagwan says Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. So his bhakti was little bit getting impacted, and Bhagwan could not tolerate that. So he went for a bath to the river, and then Bhagwan came to his house while he was gone with lot of food and so many things, ghee and butter and fruits and rice and everything, enough for many years. So much. And they carried, Krishna and Balram came to his house and they carried on their back all these things. Remember, not even a cart, everything on their back. When his wife opened the door, she was surprised how these little boys are carrying so much load. They said, your husband forced us to carry this. She was very angry. My husband, he's such a, like so much torture he's doing to these young, beautiful boys. And he said, not only, the Krishna and Balram said, not only that, we said it is so heavy, so he beat us. So they showed their back, and there were red marks on their back. So his wife was very angry. He said, okay, let him come. I will ask. So when he came back, she asked, you are such a cruel person. You told your disciples to carry so much load and you beat them. He said, what are you talking about? I never did anything like that. So she said that they came and they brought so much food and all this, see, and they showed you beat them with stick and they had red lines on their back. So then he understood what happened, and he knew that Krishna and Balaram had come, and he realized his mistake, that he should not have thought that Krishna will not protect them. So immediately he went and removed that red line from his Bhagavad Gita and wrote a beautiful commentary. There are so many stories like this of devotees. There is on and on and on. Srila Prabhupada, he had 2 heart attacks. Krishna personally appeared in front of him and told him, don't worry, you just keep doing what you are doing, which is spreading Krishna consciousness in this world, and I will take care of you. So there is no shortage of stories. There is the story of Narsi Mehta, there is the story of the Pandavas. Every single Bhagavatam is filled with stories. Narsi Mehta is not in the Bhagavatam, he is more contemporary saint uh, from the 1500s. But there are just so many stories filled in all the scriptures where Krishna protects his devotees, even if they are demons. Vritrasur, Bali Maharaj, so many of them, Vibhishan, and so on. So yeah, okay. I'm just checking my notes to see what else is there. Yeah, there's one more slide. So they're just, my devotees are fully devoted to me. They don't have to do all this hard work and work for a master and do necessary. They need to do whatever necessary minimum is needed, and ultimately they will be happy in life. They'll be very happy in my bhajan, not happy in their sense enjoyment, but their sense enjoyment is no different from bhajan. Whatever enjoyment they get, whether it is material level or spiritual level, is all coming from bhajan, from their bhakti. So the sweetness, the rasa they experience is far sweeter than the som rasa of the heaven. So many stories are there. I have put some pictures. There are more stories. I can just make this whole class based on this one verse. There is Mirabai, there is Surdas, there is Haridas Thakur. There are just unlimited number of stories, but we will move on. One more thing just to point out, in the 10th canto, 86th chapter, 59th verse, Lord Krishna says, Bhagawan bhakta bhaktiman. That Bhagwan is the bhakta of the bhaktiman. So bhaktiman means one who is expert in, like buddhiman means one who is very intelligent. Bhaktiman means one who is very, very a pure devotee, very, very nice devotee. Bhagwan bhakta bhaktiman. That means Bhagwan becomes the bhakta of the bhakta. So what else is left after that? Once Bhagwan is on your side, nothing is left. Like Arjuna, he rejected all of Krishna's army and everything. He just wanted Krishna on his side. Whether then he wins or loses is immaterial. Having Krishna on one side is what is most important. Arjun didn't choose Krishna because Krishna's being on his side will make him win. There was absolutely no in order to in Arjuna's mind when he chose Krishna. I hope you are all familiar. Krishna offers a choice to Duryodhan and Arjuna. Either you can have me, and by the way, I will not even fight, or you can have my entire army of Dwarka. He was king of Dwarka. So Arjuna chooses Krishna, the non-fighting Krishna, because knowing that, oh, he is Bhagwan, if I have him, I will win. There was absolutely no in order to. The only desire was to have Krishna on his side because that was his ultimate goal, to have Krishna. That's it. Winning the war, losing the war is a transient or a temporary consideration. So this is such a nice verse, very strong verse, and this is spoken now. And now let us see the contrast of those who worship devatas, or whose bhakti or whose shraddha is multi-branched, who want to do this and that and that and that and that. So Krishna is so strongly focusing on Ananya Bhakti and how strongly he denounces multi-branched approach. So this comes in 23. Yepyananya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvitaah tepi mameva kaunteya yajantya vidhipurvakam. So ye apya api anya devata bhakta, those who are bhaktas yajante shraddhayanvitaah. So those who are bhaktas of other devatas, anya devata, bhakta. Sanskrit is not hard. Every word is very clear. Yajante, which means they worship them, shraddhayanvitaah, imbibed or imbued with a lot of shraddha, with faith, they worship other devatas. Tepi mam eva kaunteya. Ultimately, they are worshipping me alone because I am the source of everyone, including the devatas. So ultimately, they worship me alone. So even if they are worshipping others with lot of shraddha, not even knowing the fact, they are worshipping me. So already it is multi-branched. And the last line is very impactful. Yajanti avidhi purvakam, but they do so in a wrong way. Avidhi purvakam, full of avidhi. It is means it is 180-degree opposite. Completely wrong. So Lord Krishna is just completely, that's almost sounding like a narcissist, so to say. If you are not worshipping me, you are not doing the right thing. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, right in the middle of Bhagavad Gita in 9th chapter, almost in the middle of 9th chapter, he is saying that how important it is for everybody in Kali Yuga to worship Krishna with such strong bhakti for the ultimate highest goal. Now, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, either in this one or one of the verses, that even if now many people worship devatas for material benefits, because that is what devata worship is all about, getting some material benefits. But the fruits are temporary and limited. Okay, fine. Somebody wants a temporary and limited fruit. Sometimes when there is a lot of pain, you need to take a painkiller. You know that the pain will come back in 6 hours. But still, painkiller helps because it is so painful. You anyway want temporary relief. You know it is temporary. So some may go to the devatas for that. But Srila Prabhupada writes in the commentary that even such people should only go to Krishna. If you are doing strong bhakti of Krishna, Krishna will take care of your pain. He knows that your bhakti is getting impacted because of the pain. Why will he falsify his own words? Yoga kshemam. I will protect your bhakti yoga. If he's seeing that your bhakti yoga is getting impacted because you are weak. Not everybody is like Prahlad Maharaj who can tolerate so much pain. Not everybody is like that. Somebody will break when there is too much pain. So Krishna takes away the pain. So we should, even in case of suffering and pain, and to remove our material suffering, or if we want something material from Krishna very much, and we think that it is impacting our bhakti, still at least, go to your dear Lord Krishna, and he will provide as much as is needed for our benefit. Yeah. I'm just reading my notes to see what else I need to cover. Yeah. Okay, I think, there's a lot to say, but I think the essence is this. Okay. Then the next question is, okay, if that is the wrong way, then what is the right way? Now, the rest of the chapter till the very end is about what is the right way. Yes, Ragatmika Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So
Yes.
I'm not trying to find this shloka either in chapter 7 or 8. We studied a shloka, Anya Devata shloka, where Bhagwan said, even if you are praying other demigods, I am going to support your worship, or I'm going to support your your dedication. I'll study your dedication.
7 from 20 to 23. These are the two places in Bhagavad Gita where Lord Krishna is talking about worshipping of the devatas. Yes. So
There Bhagwan says that he will study their worship, or he's going to then give them bhakti, and now he is saying that it is wrong way to do.
no,
So if it's wrong, then why is he talking that?
what do you think he's saying there?
He's saying if somebody worships demigods, if I
Hmm.
remember it correctly, I'm trying to go there.
Point 21. Yes.
21. I mean, everyone's heart at the super soul has desires worship some demigod. I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity.
Yes.
So, so he's saying that he's going to support, and now he's saying it is wrong.
Yes.
So the conflict in my mind is, and maybe naive, but the conflict in my mind is, if it is wrong, why is Bhagwan supporting it?
Yeah. So it's not. Um, um, hmm, he's not saying that I will. He says I will support it if that is what you want. So chapter 7 is a more impersonal version of chapter 9. Okay. Bhagwan is being little more like, he's being like an advisor. Chapter 9 is where he's being more direct. So chapter 7, Bhagwan is saying, if you really want to worship somebody else, I will not come in the way. I can if I want to, but I will not. I will let you worship him. And if you really want to worship him, I will give you all the necessary means to do it, which means I will make your Shraddha very nice and strong in that worship, which means he does not want to interfere with our plans, with our desires. But he is saying here that even in 7th chapter, he said that those who worship the devatas are alpamedhasaha. So he's not supporting, he's saying, if that is still what you want, it's okay. Like if a child is telling to the father, may say, let's eat some healthy food. But child says, no, I want to eat ice cream and pizza. Father says, okay, fine, you can have it. But that's not the true desire of the father. So he's not saying that I will encourage you to do it. Even if you did not have the desire, I will encourage you and push you to the devatas. Nowhere is he saying that. All right. Is it completely clear that is your question completely answered, like, clearly? There is a difference in these two things.
I understand the analogy. Yes, Hare Krishna. Yes, thank you.
Krishna is not pushing someone towards the devatas. One is already getting pulled to the devatas and he's telling Krishna, please make my faith stronger in the devata. Krishna says, okay, as you wish.
Earlier also there was a shlok, mam vartamanu vartante, that ye yatha mam prapadente. So there Krishna says that any path you follow is my path only.
Yes, but I had, now again, we'll have to go really back. That was 4.11. But there, Krishna was saying that the first line is ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. That is the first line.
Yeah, that's a direct proportion line.
Yes, so Krishna is saying that I reciprocate accordingly. As one surrenders or as one shows his shraddha to me, I reciprocate accordingly. So what is inconsistent or not reconciling?
No, but now in chapter 9, he's saying it is wrong to do it.
He's saying because so in the 4th chapter, what he was saying is that, yes, if you are worshipping devatas, indirectly you are worshipping me. He's saying the same thing here. What he's saying that, yes, they are all on my path. So fine, you're in, but he did not say whether it is direct or indirect. You're on Krishna's path. You're on under Krishna's plan. Even if you're a sinful person, you are still on Krishna's plan. What is the plan? The plan to go to hell. That is also Krishna's plan. So the meaning of that was not that they are all going to come to me and go and get pure bhakti and come to Vaikuntha. What it means is that people will get everything according to the plan that I have designed. And whatever one is going through is all under my plan. The whole fabric of this universe is created by Krishna. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
If you are committing a sinful action, you are on the fast track to hell. If you are doing bhakti of a devata, you are on the fast track towards that devata. And if you are on doing Krishna's bhakti, then you are on the fast track to Krishna. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling all the good things that will happen if you do Krishna bhakti. So I'm not seeing every verse of the Bhagavad Gita is completely reconciled with every other verse. I have been reading and teaching Bhagavad Gita for almost more than 17, 18 years. I have not seen any misalignment or self-contradictory verses in Bhagavad Gita. It's highly, highly consistent overall.
Okay. Thank you.
So now the question comes, what is the right way? So first thing Lord Krishna says in response to that, again, some tattva knowledge before the action or the activity part. Lord Krishna is saying, once again, reminding who he is. So for that, Lord Krishna is saying that consciousness is what is most important. So one should first realize who is Krishna in terms of worship. So first he says that aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. Whatever path of worship that you are following, whatever path, now this does not include sinful activities. Therefore, what he's saying, whichever path to make progress, whether it is material or spiritual, that you are adopting, aham hi sarva yajnanam. Whatever sacrifices, yajna may sound like a havan, fire yajna, but there are so many types of yajnas. We discussed 9 types of yajnas in chapter 4. So if you want to get an idea of what is yajna, the essence, one of the essence of chapter 4 is yajna. So yajna of speaking, yajna of listening, yajna of doing something with your hands, and of course offering oblations into the fire is one type of yajna. And there swadhyaya or reading Shastra is also one of the yajnas. So many types of yajnas are there. Chanting of mantras is a yajna. Maun vrat, just completely shutting yourself off and just focusing, concentrating your mind is also a yajna. So all these yajnas, aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. I am the benefactor, the beneficiary rather, which means ultimately whatever yajna you are doing, it's in one way or the other, at the end point, I am sitting, I am the receiver. Bhokta means I get all the final benefits. You may pay tax to the water department, to electricity department, to education department. Ultimately, it goes in the central treasury. These are all just various channels like that. Bhokta cha prabhureva cha. And the Lord, the master of all the yajnas, Na tu mam abhijanati tattvena. Those who do not understand this tattva, na tu abhijanati. Those who do not know, na, janati means do not know this tattva, tattvena. Ataschevantite. They fall down. So, which means those who don't know this and they are doing any yajna which is not towards Krishna is material yajna, which binds them to this material world. So, one needs to understand this very clearly that Krishna is the ultimate receiver. Therefore, worship only Krishna. Instead of doing it indirectly, one should do direct worship or bhakti of Krishna. So, I am the receiver and the Lord of all kinds of worship and offerings. I am everything. And this is the main tattva to be understood. So that's why it is said, Na tumam abhijana jananti tattvena. And so I have made a connection to a future verse which is coming up. With this consciousness, do whatever yajna you are doing. Yajna means even going to office, doing hard work for 8 hours is also a type of yajna for many people, because that's what they do. That's what their, means of livelihood is. But this consciousness is very important. So whatever you are doing, at least be completely aware that I am the final receiver of all the activities, whatever you are doing. Those who do not know this or do not operate with this consciousness, they are the ones who fall down. And those who operate with this consciousness, I will give them the intelligence of how to yoga vahamyaham. Kshema means to preserve. Vahami means to make progress. Vahami is like coming from vahan. Vahan does what? Vehicle. Vehicle makes you go forward. So vahamya. So I will make you go forward in bhakti if you do it with this consciousness. Yeah, in this verse, I see here Srila Prabhupada in the purport mentions that even if you want to ask for material benefits, ask Krishna instead of a demigod. Further, he says in continuation of this, okay, so then I have this thing, how to do devata worship. So even if somebody is attached, right now there may be people who are attached to devata worship, because now we are doing this Bhagavad Gita class. Some people come to just listen, and some people have a goal in life. I have to read Bhagavad Gita once, at least in my life. It is the book, one book to read before you die, so to say. Okay, I have read it, checkbox. So, okay, that's good. It will be there in your subconscious, at least for some time. But they may not begin to follow it right away. My hope, my expectation is that one begins to follow it right away. This is the Bhagavad Gita. Now, for many people, it may be one of the books to read before you die, but there may be others. And then one may see conflicting statements. Ultimately, you can do only so many things in your life. You cannot do everything. Then one gets confused what to do. So, for such people who are not immediately convinced that I must give up all other kinds of shraddha or putting my faith, putting myself in the hands, taking shelter of devatas or anybody else, and just put my faith in Krishna alone, really from the heart. Those who are unable to do that, what to do? Okay. Then all I can say is add at least, again, this is not ideal, but better than present situation is to add Krishna bhakti to your life. If you cannot make it the fundamental platform, the foundation of your life, make it at least a compartment. As Hari Parshad Prabhu says, blind uncle is better than no uncle. So at least do that along with devata worship. Better than that would be to keep Krishna on top, have the devatas and worship them as devotees of Krishna, because they are devotees of Krishna. Ask them for Krishna bhakti. So many options can be there, but slowly over time, one should, if really wants to follow really the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, then ananyas chintayanto ma. That's it. Ananya bhakti of Krishna is what is needed according to Bhagavad Gita, according to Sri Krishna. And he says in the next verse that it's not that everybody will come to the same destination. All roads lead to Rome. That is the saying people use. Don't worry, all roads lead to Rome. Or all rivers end up in the ocean, same ocean. Those are sayings meant for other situations. You cannot apply all sayings to all situations. So all roads lead to Rome, all rivers lead to the same ocean, doesn't mean all kinds of worship leads to the same destination. Destinations are different. Yanti de, so 25th verse. Yanti deva vrata devan pitran yanti pitravrata bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti madhyajinopi mam. So very straightforward. The translation is those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. And demigods live where? In the material world. So those who worship the demigods will go to higher planets, come back, higher planets, come back. Okay. Those who worship the ancestors go to the Pitrin Yanti Pitravrataha. So the Pitravrataha, those who are very strongly determined worshippers of the Pitrins, they go to the Pitras. Those who worship ghosts and spirits, and believe me, there are many who do that. Bhutani Yanti Bhutejya. They go to the planet of the ghosts. And Yanti Madhyajino Pimam. Madhyajino, those who do my worship, they come to Mam, they come to me. So essentially what Krishna is saying, that whatever path you are following, you will get that destination. You need to be clear about the path. Don't think you have taken the flight to Chicago and you will end up in New York. That is foolish. You have to be clear. If you want to go to Chicago, take the flight to Chicago, and it will only take you to Chicago. It will not take you to anywhere else. So this understanding needs to be clear. Okay. And these three worships are indicative to the Devavrata, Pitrin, and Bhutani. It's not just three random examples. These three are indicative of worship in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. The worship of the devatas is in the mode of goodness. One will achieve a situation which is in the mode of goodness in the next life. Pitran means those who are worshipping in the mode of passion. So these are indicative, not indicative, they are direct. But in Sanskrit, we call upalakshan, which means one item is given, but it refers to the whole category. Okay, so the entire category is referred to by these one statements. Okay, one can say that, what's that? Good life in San Diego or something. There is a saying or something. So the idea was not just to indicate San Diego, but the entire California, There was a song or something like that. On earth, whatever, something. But the rest of the song was glorifying California. So you're indicating one city in California, but the meaning of the song was to glorify the entire state. So like that. Okay, 26th verse onwards, Lord Krishna is now describing his bhakti. So his bhakti, this verse number 26 is very important. He is saying that his bhakti, how to do his bhakti, how to do. So it is all about the doing part. But so expertly, Lord Krishna has explained in this verse that the doing is actually indicating only the consciousness. So he has downgraded, please listen carefully, he has downgraded the doing to something absolutely so straightforward and so minimal. It's like you have an art competition. Okay, imagine if you have art competition and you say that anybody who can draw a line, any kind of line, straight line, crooked line, any line will get first prize. What kind of art competition is that? All you have to do is take the pencil and draw a line. Essentially, I mean, analogy may not fit. It's not like doing a poor quality job. Okay, so what you will see is there is a higher criteria, but externally speaking, the bar is very low. Again, therefore, the verse seems to say what to do, but it is all about the consciousness behind the doing. You will see that. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tad aham bhaktyopahartam ashnami priyatatmanaha. So what he is saying is that doing my bhakti or loving me, bhakti or devotion or love, is so simple. All you have to do is patram pushpam phalam toyam. Leaf, flower, fruit, or water. And it doesn't have to be the most expensive fruit, the Alfonso mango or whatever is the most the exotic and expensive fruit. A fruit can be as simple as a grain of rice. The grain of rice is the fruit of the rice plant, if I am right, botanically speaking. It could be something as simple. So fruit doesn't mean the most expensive fruit. Water is water. It doesn't have to be the Evian or the spring water for like which sells for $5 for like half a liter. Not even that. Just water from the stream, free of cost. Flower, just a simple flower or a leaf. I don't think ever it will be possible in this, even in the future, that one will have trouble getting these four items: fruit, flower, leaf, and water. It will be abundantly available, hopefully. So, patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, these four things. Yome bhaktya prayachati. If a devotee offers this to me, tad aham bhaktyupahartam. So I'll come to that line. Ashnami. Ashnami means I will eat it. Now, all these four things are meant for eating, but the meaning is I will accept it. Ashnami priyatatmanaha. From that bhakta, priyatatmanaha, whose atma is having a lot of love for me. Priyatatmanaha. So from a devotee, I will accept it. If tad aham bhaktyupahartam, if that offering is made with bhakti, that is a big if. So it is something very simple. And he says, I become satisfied, ashnami, with all these offerings of this leaf, flower, fruit, water. the only key ingredient is bhakti for me. So it is coming back to the consciousness. If love is there, I will accept the pettiest of offerings. That is how simple Krishna Bhakti is. And there are so many examples. You don't have to do on the left side, you'll see this big yajna, and very qualified Brahmanas have to do it. All that is not needed. Maybe next time I'll put a cross on top of this to show that this is not the needed component. The component is on the bottom of the slide. Very simple things, extremely simple things. You get into a body of water, take the water from there and just offer that only. You didn't have to do anything. You just have to take water from the river and offer it back to Bhagawan. You can see here the wife of Vidurji. She offered banana leaves, not leaves, what do you call? Peel, banana peel, kele ka chilka. She offered to Krishna, and Krishna was so happily eating, even though it was chilka or peel of banana. Here it is, this picture is showing Sudama. He brought decayed, kharab or decayed, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, पोहा को क्या बोलते हैं इंग्लिश में? Broken, not broken, flat rice. What? Flat, puffed rice. Chipped rice, yes, chipped.
Yeah.
And during his journey, it had decayed. It became bad. Krishna was so happy with even that offering because Sudama offered it with just the maximum amount of love that is possible. And Krishna washed the feet of Sudama. Bhakta aham bhaktiman. I become the bhakta of the bhakta. And here Shabari, just the bear or those fruits that she took from the tree, she gave to Lord Ram. So what is offered is not important. But in all these cases, the love was out of the world. So it all comes back to consciousness. And that is the essence of bhakti, is that Bhagwan is, he doesn't need anything from us. Even if he needed something, we don't have the capacity to give. What can God need? And if, by the way, God even needs something, that need will be so unimaginable, even if he needs it. We have no even capacity to fulfill God's need. Okay? We don't even have the capacity to fulfill the need of our neighbor. Neighbors can make so many demands. What can we fulfill? Who are we? Even Elon Musk cannot fulfill my needs. He's the richest man, powerful man now in the government. I can put a set of needs that even he cannot fulfill. What to speak of fulfilling? I'm a nobody. The richest man cannot fulfill my desires. What will we fulfill God's desire? But Bhagwan is not looking to fulfill any such needs. All he is looking for is our love. Okay. But this doesn't mean that our quality of offering should become very, very low. We shouldn't. That means that, and if it is that, if we compromise on the quality, Bhagwan just wants love. So we will buy the cheapest, most rotten bananas. On the side in the store, you can see there are good bananas for $3 a bunch. And then you see some rotten bananas for $2 or $1 a bunch. Let's say you can pay. You have no problem. You are a nice earning software engineer. $1 versus $3 is not a big deal. Still, you pick up the $1 bunch. You cheap out, you chicken out on the quality. That Bhagwan will still accept it, but it is obvious that there is lack of love. You love your $2 more than you love Bhagwan. Okay. So therefore, automatically, the automatic result is that when there is love, quality will always automatically be there. It is a given. Try to come up with a scenario which is a counter example. I don't think there will be one. So love implies high quality because it shows dedication. It shows, you know, your love. Love shows up in the quality of our interactions. So that is, that's why it is said devotees do their best. It's not that one should become bankrupt in doing your best. When you have to give a donation to the temple, it doesn't mean you sell your house and give donation to temple and you become homeless. That's not the expectation. But if you can give $500 and all you give is $5, then there is lack of love. Okay. Yes, Rajvidya Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, here can just a clarification. Can we say we are talking here about spiritual consciousness which can be developed through sadhana bhakti? When we say consciousness, say is the essence of bhakti. So would it be right to say we are talking about spiritual consciousness which can be developed through sadhana bhakti, through the 5 ways of bhakti?
I am talking about a very general point. So I'm not sure, you're probably kind of getting too mixed up. I'm talking a very general point that true bhakti is from the heart, not from the externals. Now your question probably is how to cultivate that in our life or how to develop that. And the process of developing that is called sadhana bhakti. And it starts with doing some sadhana, doing some activities initially, maybe without love, because we don't have inherent or natural love for Bhagwan on day one. But when we start doing sadhana, yes, it begins to develop love for Bhagwan. But while doing that sadhana, we should not have any material motivations. The sadhana itself should be completely devoid of any material motivations. The only motivation of doing sadhana should be to improve our bhakti. Now, that's not a material motivation. Anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. These things should be absent. Anya abhilasha, jnana karma, etc. I'm simplifying it, okay? There are meanings of the word anavritam and shunyam, etc. There is finer differences, but at a broad level, the desire should be free when doing bhakti to get any material result. And whatever we are doing should be pleasing or favorable to Krishna. Now, anukulyena Krishnanushilanam. That is called Uttama Bhakti, Bhakti Uttama. In this whole verse, there is no mention that we should do it with Atyanta Prema. It's not there. Therefore, sadhana bhakti can also be Uttama Bhakti. We have to simply do it while we are doing. Let's say you have compartmentalized your life. While doing your bhakti, act of bhakti, if you are doing it solely to improve your bhakti, to please Krishna. What pleases Krishna is our desire to improve our bhakti for Krishna pleases Krishna a lot. We know that from Shastra. Or taking his name pleases him a lot. Serving other pure devotees pleases him a lot. Or reading Bhagavatam pleases him a lot. Doing very nice worship of his Vigraha pleases him a lot. I just covered all the 5 main angas of bhakti, by the way. All these things please him. While doing those activities of bhakti with lot of sincerity, without any desire for material benefit, if we do those things with a only desire that our bhakti should improve, you are already doing uttama bhakti. And yes, Krishna will increase one's bhakti through this process, but you can see here that the consciousness is playing a huge role. If you are doing it for some material benefit, if you are doing it to get somebody off your back, oh, this Prabhuji keeps saying, I have to do this, I have to do this. Chalo, I have done it. Now he will be quiet. I have shown him that I am doing it. Now he'll off my back. Or to get a good name. Oh, he's such a big devotee, such a nice one, this, that. All those are not anya abhilashita shunyam. They are anya abhilashita purnam. They are full of other desires. Then it is not uttama bhakti, and our bhakti will not improve. So I hope your question was clarified with this.
Yes, Prabhuji. So it is. So my takeaway, we can say that the actual bhakti, which is filled with love and devotion, it starts only after we don't have any material desire, so to say. I mean, only it is purely for Krishna's pleasure, and that is where.
That is when. Go ahead.
That is when we are we are done with material desires. We don't have any material desires, not in the so the and we are more into the consciousness at a consciousness level only for pure love and devotion of Krishna, and that's why we're doing bhakti, not for some material gains. So that's when the actual bhakti starts. I mean, the real.
You say actual bhakti. I don't mean to say sadhana bhakti when you are doing. That is not actual bhakti.
Yeah.
The point is when you are doing some activity of bhakti for 2 hours a day, let us say, and you are doing it according to this understanding that I gave, those 2 hours of your act of bhakti, bhakti at the sadhana level is a verb. You act on it, you do something. Bhakti is that which is performed by the senses, sadhana bhakti. So when you are doing that, that still qualifies as uttama bhakti. It is not at the level of prema, where all or even bhava bhakti. It is still sadhana bhakti. It's not bhava bhakti means now your whole life, your whole consciousness, 24/7 is for Krishna. So that is what this chapter is explaining. Some of those verses, Ananyas chintayanto maam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. That verse is indicating the level of bhava bhakti or prema bhakti. Sadhana bhakti means you are doing 2 hours per day. Somebody is doing 4, somebody is doing 8, somebody is doing 15 minutes. All right. So that means they have created some compartment. But it doesn't mean that that bhakti is material. To that extent, that much time you are doing uttama bhakti. All right. You cannot say once I become bhava bhakta, then bhakti begins. No. What do you mean? Sadhana bhakti was not bhakti? It was. Bhav bhakti, when you get 24/7, then bhav bhakti begins. We can say that. That we can say at a broad level. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
So 9.27. So you don't need to change much, even though I have said anything, but I have added a word almost. Almost nothing needs to be changed. Just do whatever you are doing, but do it as a loving offering to me, which means change of consciousness, not the change of activity. Now, some change of activity may be needed if you are in the business of killing animals and eating them. Then maybe a change of activity may be needed. But most of the activities, if you are a software engineer, hardware engineer, electrician, carpenter, what are the professions? Tailor, cobbler, all the other top to bottom professions, all of those. So that is verse 27. Yad karoshi yad ashnashi yad juhoshi dadasi yad tapasyasi kaunteya tad kurushva madarpanam. So yad karoshi, whatever you do, yad ashnashi, whatever you eat. Ashnashi means eat, you eat. Remember ashnami priyatatmanaha, I will eat, I will accept. Ashna means to eat. So yad ashnashi, yad juhoshi, whatever you offer, give to somebody like charity. Dadasi yat, whatever you give away. Yat tapasyasi, any tapasya you do. Kaunteya, my dear Arjuna or son of Kunti. Tad kurushva mad arpanam. Do that as an offering to me. What does it mean? It means that while doing those offerings or those activities, be conscious of me. Now, that is the best. At a lower level, after doing it, you do arpana to Krishna. Oh, I did this activity today. At the end of it, you say, I offer it to you. At least that much can be done. But that is only a starting point. Best is not just at the end. Even while doing it, be conscious of Krishna, that I am doing it for Krishna. Now, it may be hard. You can say, if I'm playing badminton, I use that as a cliche example. How can I think that I am doing it for Krishna if I am just playing badminton? So, and some people say, okay, I'm playing badminton to keep myself healthy so that I can do bhakti later and this and that. All that is fine. But really, while playing badminton, it is not possible to think of this whole link that I am playing badminton to do bhakti when I am old. My body will, all right, that is fine. That is one way of understanding. If you can have that consciousness, great. But the point is that slowly and slowly, in the one who is developing his bhakti, will understand that these activities, if being done for one's pleasure, many people play badminton as an example for their pleasure. They like the sport, or it's the social gathering, you get together with friends or whatever it may be. They will realize this is not meaningful for my life, and it will slowly drop off to realize, where am I spending my time? So that also is part of, while doing these some of the useless activities. I'm not calling badminton useless, but if one is doing it for one's self enjoyment, then one can think, is this really going to, is it really forwarding the purpose of my life? My life is very short. Every morning you should evaluate, what am I going to do today and how it is going to forward the purpose of my life? Well, first of all, you need to have a purpose in your life. I hope the purpose of all your lives is to attain Krishna at the end of this life. That should be the purpose. Now, every morning you should evaluate, what should I do today to make forward progress? And at night you should evaluate, did I do it? Really. And it doesn't mean you should stop doing your job, taking care of your family. All that is still needed. But one should seriously evaluate whether one is making progress towards their spiritual goal, and mold their activities. You still have to do some activities, and then those activities will fit in this verse. That yes, these minimal activities need to be done, and I have taken out the maximum amount of time possible to do direct acts of bhakti. These are the indirect acts of bhakti. They are supporting our main act of bhakti. Okay, so main act of bhakti, nobody will pay you to do. No, act of bhakti. Nobody will pay you to do Nama Sankirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, Murti Sevan, Sadhu Sangha and Mathuravas. Nobody will pay you to do. In many cases, you have to pay. If you want to do Bhagavat Shravan, you have to pay to get Bhagavatam. Now we have Veda base free of cost. But that is great mercy of some devotees who have made it free. In Hindi, it is not possible. BBT of India wants to get money if you want to get Hindi Bhagavatam. They have copyright. So try finding, it is illegal to have Hindi Bhagavatam on an open website. Now there are some PDFs floating around, but to get access in Hindi, you have to pay. So some of the activities of bhakti you have to pay. To go to Mathura, you have to pay. Nobody will give you free flight to Mathura. So things like that. Anyway, so whatever we do, we should do it as an offering to Krishna. And if we feel, the bottom line is that if we feel that it is not possible to justify how am I doing this for Krishna, that's an indication that you should drop it. If it is not supporting your bhakti directly, or if it is not direct bhakti itself, you should drop it. You should come to a point where you can justify, I am doing this to support my bhakti. Everybody needs a job. You need to feed yourself and family for bhakti. It's much easier to justify that. Playing 3-hour badminton, I don't know if somebody has some very creative way of justifying how that is directly connected with your bhakti. Please let me know. But working a job, I can justify how it supports my bhakti. Taking care of my family, I can justify how it supports my bhakti. I want to have nice, peaceful family. I want to have a job, to have a roof on my head, roti, kapda, makan. Not so that I can go to Hawaii or Bahamas, but I don't have that much money myself. But I have enough to, and some savings for the rainy day, for my retirement, so that I can continue my bhakti. I can justify that. Those activities we will come under this verse. By doing so, what happens? Okay, some more graphics are there. So that's very simple. When you get to that level, when all the activities that you are doing can come under the sphere of being justified as, this is connected to my bhakti. Bhakti is at the center. All my activities are supporting my bhakti. They are the gauna vritti. The Mukhya vritti is bhakti. The supporting activities for bhakti, it cannot be 3 levels removed. This activity supports something which supports something which supports something which supports bhakti. That means you are like doing some really, useless activity. It has to directly, just one level, directly removed from bhakti. This activity supports my bhakti. So that is very simple. So all we need to do is to do those activities with love. The activity may be very simple, but do it with love. Okay. What is the result? There are 2 main results which are coming up in next verse. So this verse is important because it says, Shubha Shubham Phalairevam Mokshase Karma Bandhanaihi Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mam Upaishyasi. So 2 things are there. Shubha, Ashubha, Phalairevam. So when you do activities which are not directly connected to bhakti, activities which are directly connected to bhakti, like worshipping Bhagwan with a lamp, or reading Bhagavat, or doing Nam Jap, Nam Kirtan, those are direct activities of bhakti. Indirect activities are having a job, is indirect, but directly it is supporting your bhakti, right? So when you do it with that consciousness that this activity I am doing directly, by the way, that activity is known as Aropa Siddha Bhakti. The direct activities of bhakti are known as Swarupa Siddha Bhakti. So that is the technical term. We won't get into the technical terms. But those activities, if you do it with that consciousness that this activity I am doing to support my bhakti, whatever phala, the material result that comes out of it, becomes, it doesn't apply. One becomes free. Karma bandhana, free from karma bandhana. That is what it is said. Moksha se karma bandhana. One gets moksha from the karma bandhan, which means one gets freed from any material reaction. That means it becomes a karma-free activity. Imagine 8 hours of your job, Monday to Friday, becomes karma-free. Otherwise, so much karma one accumulates. But you have to do that always with this consciousness why you are doing it. Okay? And like this, sannyasa yoga yuktatma, also one who is doing it with this consciousness, vimukto mam upaishyasi, that he becomes liberated from this material world, vimukto, and he attains me, mam upaishyasi. So end of his life, he will come to me. So in this life, he is not accumulating any more karma, and at the end of this life, he will come to me. So the English translation is, in this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. And then the Lord makes a very important statement, very, very important, glorifying bhakti and bhakta. So you get moksha and you attain Krishna. That is one level. I mean, what can be more than that? What can be more if one says liberation? Okay, liberation is great already. Not only liberation from the material world, you attain Krishna, mam upaishyasi. At the end of your life, you will attain me. What can be greater than that? Any idea? What can be greater than that?
You will not return.
One at a time?
You will not return to the material world again.
That is guaranteed. What do you mean you will not return? After you attain Krishna, how can you return anyway?
Krishna Seva.
Those who attain Krishna and they return are at one level, and those who attain Krishna and never return at a higher level. That's not the case. Those who attain Krishna anyway never return. That's already implied within that. All right. Who else wants to say? Raj Vidya Prabhu, you wanted to say something?
Ability to serve Krishna, opportunity to serve Krishna.
Okay, very good.
Or serve it, or serve a devotee of Krishna.
All right. Okay. It's not very, I'm just sort of in a devil's advocate way, I'm saying, I'm not seeing how that is greater. Serving Krishna, okay, it involves service, hard work. I will be with Krishna and I will enjoy. Bindas. Why I have to serve? I'm just saying, as a devil's advocate, in very direct, obvious terms, what can be greater than to attain Krishna at the end of this life? What can be greater? Even a very ordinary person should understand that. That's what I'm asking. Yes, Ramakant Prabhu.
Just that you are in a meeting with so many devotees there, rather in material sense, you may say that you are in a meeting with a prominent person, but you are there
Tell me
with
in one
him,
line. Don't
but
complicate.
he is not thinking about you. If he starts thinking about you, that means he is very close to you.
Okay.
So
What you are saying, let
to
me
me,
summarize. What you are
to me, it's like that. Though you are there, mamu pasyasi, though he is saying mamu pasyas, but he will start thinking about you if you have anaschintyante.
Acha, okay. So what,
Like friends, like friends.
okay. Next time we want short answers, not a whole paragraph. Okay. Thank you. So what you are saying is, instead of we being with him, he recognizing that we are important to him is even greater. Very nice. That I am.
Yeah. That.
That's what you meant. Yes. All right. Yes, Ram Prabhu, and then we will move on. I thought Archi Mataji raised her hand. What happened? Looks
So-
like it dropped out.
Her hand is still okay. So Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So the one thing that I think that is greater than being with God is being able to meet, serve Him as well. Whatever requirements, needs that He has, if you can help Him and serve Him, that problem.
Answer as before. Same answer as before.
Right. Okay.
All right. So let us see what is the answer. Sammoham sarvabhuteshu na me dveshyo asti na priyaha ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayi te teshu chapyaham. So the last line is revealing the greatest result. Mayi te teshu cha api aham. That he lives in my heart and I live in his heart. He is in me. I'm talking about heart. Now you can say he is in my lungs or my stomach or my mind, whatever, doesn't matter. We'll just say heart. So he lives, and I had said, Mam upayashyasi, in the future. That means after death you will attain me. That is the meaning of Mam upayashyasi. Why you have to wait for death? It can happen right now. That is greater. I think it's much easier to explain. Today, if I tell you, if you give me 10,000 rupees, Ramakant Prabhu, after 10 years, I will give you 20,000. Versus if I tell you, if you give me 10,000, tomorrow I will give you 20,000, which is better? The second option is better, isn't it? Tomorrow is better than 10 years later. So that is what Bhagwan is saying. And it is not only that you will be in his heart, like I think that's what he said, he will be in your heart. That is so nice. Your heart becomes the home of Bhagwan. That is the greatest result. Bhagwan wants to come and live in your heart. What can be greater than that? Now you are the provider for Bhagwan. In a sense, it is doing service to Bhagwan. You are opening your heart as a home for Bhagwan. So yes, that answer also makes total sense, that you serve Bhagwan. But all these are explained in 9.29. That Bhagwan says that in general, I am neutral to all living entities. Sammoham, sama means equal to all living entities. Sarva bhuteshu. Na me dveshyo asti na cha na priyaha. I don't hate anyone. I don't love anyone. Like no bias. Things work equal. So the picture that comes to my mind is that of like the law, or what is that? Lady, what do you call? Lady with the blind. Yeah.
Justice.
Lady justice, yes. So treats everybody equally. So we want that. We don't want the lady justice to show favors. So Bhagavan says that for everybody I am like that, but for my devotees I am partial. Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya. Those devotees who do my nice bhajan, mai te teshu. They are in me. They live in my heart. Cha api aham. And same thing I do. That's the literal meaning. Cha api aham. And vice versa. Like that you can think. That's the literal translation. But the meaning is I live in their heart. So I am in their heart. That is when, Bhagwan, there's this nice story of Lord Ram. So one time he was, I think, when Vibhishan was coming to take shelter of Lord Ram. So Sugriv thought that he is a spy of Ravana. And Lord Ram was saying, if he takes my shelter, I will give him Lanka. I will make him king of Lanka. So Sugriv said, okay, you can make him king of Lanka once you kill Ravana. Fine, then no problem. Which happened actually. But Sugriv is saying, tomorrow if Ravana comes and takes your shelter, then what will you give to Ravana? So Bhagwan thought for a second and said, I will give him Ayodhya. I will make him even bigger king of Ayodhya. I will make him. This puzzled Sugriv. He said, wait a minute. Ayodhya is being ruled by Bharat, even though he's not ruling as a king. But tomorrow, let us say he comes and asks, I want to become king of Ayodhya. What will you give? Then Bhagwan says, I will make him king of Vaikuntha, even higher. Then Sugriv gets even more puzzled. Vaikuntha, but you are the king of Vaikuntha. So if Bharat takes your place, where will you go? He says, I have a permanent residence, green card, permanent home in the heart of Hanuman. So Hanuman was standing right beside him, and he entered, actually Ram Bhagwan entered into the heart of Hanuman and showed that, see, I always have place in the heart of Hanuman. I never have to worry where I have to go. I always have a permanent home in Hanuman's heart. So that is and Hanuman doesn't have to, take next birth or, in spiritual world. For pure devotee, always, right now, that is the result. You don't have to die to reach Vaikuntha. Right now, Vaikuntha can be yours because you will remain in Bhagwan's heart and you will serve Bhagwan eternally by providing your heart as a home for Bhagwan. Okay. So we will stop here. Next verse is very important. Api chet su duracharo. So it's a very important verse, and I have several slides, 5 slides on that verse, because it is the most complex verse to understand in Bhagavad Gita. There are many complex verses, so technically it is not complex. Conceptually it is complex. Api chet suduracharo bhajante mam ananya bhak. Sadhureva samantavyah samyak vyavastito hi saha. He says that the translation is very baffling. Even if one commits the most abominable action, durachar. Wait a minute. So somebody is committing an abominable action, durachar, like a very dirty action, even to the extent of a sinful action. Bhagwan is giving a clean chit. साधुरेव समंतव्यः. मंतव्य means उसको मानना चाहिए. You should consider him to be a papi, sinful. No. Sadhu. How is that possible? That's like a clean chit to a criminal. Just because you have the head of the big politician, prime minister or president of the country, you are in his gang, now you can be a criminal. That sounds perfectly like Indian politics. So to say, it's everywhere. I am taking name of India because I am from India. I can safely take the name. Like black people can make fun of blacks. White person should never do that. That will become a big controversy. So I'm from India, I can say. Okay, so there is no controversy. So that's like Indian politics. You are the son of the prime minister and you can do whatever you want. That's what happened in emergency, Sanjay Gandhi and all this. There was so much controversy. So that sounds like that, but it is not. Therefore, it becomes a complex verse. Anytime a devotee wearing a orange colored or whatever saffron colored clothes, he does not get a clean chit to do what he wants or any criminal or abominable activity. And sometimes when somebody like that does it, his supporters use this verse. See, apichet suduracharo bhajante mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavyah. Don't worry, he's still a sadhu. My dear Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, please welcome. I have nice bhoga prasadam for you. And somebody will say, Are, see, that person is such a criminal and this fellow is still serving him. So these two people cannot come to an agreement whether he is a sadhu or not. They both agree that he has done something abominable, but they cannot agree whether he is a sadhu or not. So what is the real meaning of the verse? Which kind of abominable action is to be considered as ignorable or passable, and which one is not? So we will go into detail in this verse. I don't want to rush it, but this is very important to understand. And the purpose is not to judge others. Bhagavad Gita never, not even a single verse, gives a license to judge others. It tells us what we should. It is all again about our consciousness. You will see, and this you get when you read so many comments. Thankfully, Bhagavad Gita is the most commented work, even more than Bhagavatam. So you have to read several commentaries, try to think and analyze and come to that understanding. How to apply this verse. And many people misapply this verse. And in the name of this verse, so much nonsense goes on. So much. So we should at least apply it correctly on ourselves. Okay, so we will cover that 9.30 next time. Today, what I want to do in the next 10 minutes is answer a particular question that had been sent to me. I'm looking if Vikas Prabhu is still here. I cannot see him, but maybe he's mixed up in all the boxes. Anyway, so I'll put up his question. He watches the recordings and his question will get answered. And others will also benefit. So the question that was asked, so in the previous classes, by the way, if any of you have a question, you are welcome to raise your hands. So you can take those Q&A. the question that was asked to me was, yes, Ragatmika Mataji, you have a quick question, I can answer, then I'll end with this one.
The question I had was on offering. So yesterday I was reading Leela Amrita, and in which Prabhupada has said, offer it to Guru, and the Guru will offer it to Guru, and then it will go to Krishna. You do not have the right to offer directly to Krishna.
That is perfectly correct. Okay.
So my question was, when we offer, till yesterday, till even today morning, when we offer, we are offering it directly to Krishna. We're not offering to Guru.
That's not true. That's not true. On your altar in your home, do you have Srila Prabhupada's photo?
Yes, I do.
All right, great. And you have your Guru Maharaj photo?
Not yet. We are yet to get it made.
Okay, so at least you are in the process, because you recently got initiated, probably like 3, 4, 5 months back. So that's okay. You have Srila Prabhupada.
Yes.
So why do you say we are directly offering to Krishna? You are having Srila Prabhupada. Is he going hungry every day when you are putting the bhoga plate on your altar?
So, when we do that Mahaprasade Govinde, we directly offer it to Krishna. We do not do the prayer for
Mahaprasade Govinde, you are reciting when you honor it, when you eat it. While offering, don't you say Prabhupada Pranam Mantra and then?
We actually only do Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I would start.
So that's fine. Technically, the right way is to recite the Prabhupada Pranam Mantra. Now, once you get initiated, you should start with your Gurudev Pranam Mantra, then Prabhupada Pranam Mantra, then to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then to Lord Krishna. This is the sequence. I don't know in India if it is available. For $1 here in America, we sell a book called Temple Bhajan Book. At the end of it, there is prayers for offering bhoga to the Lord. Okay. So that is offered. And the point, the concept behind it is that one should offer. We cannot offer it to Krishna because Krishna, we do not have that purity. So Krishna may or may not accept because we are not pure. But we want surety that Krishna should accept. So if we want surety, then we should offer to devotees of Krishna and request them to offer it to Bhagwan. The devotees will definitely offer from us, accept from us, because they are very merciful, so much more merciful than Bhagwan himself. Okay? And the proof of that, for example, you are initiated, your name is Raj Vidya Das. So your Guru Maharaj has accepted you as a disciple. That is a direct indication that you have been accepted into the parampara. So you offer through the Guru parampara, and then finally when it reaches Krishna, he will accept. So that is the reason we offer through the devotees, and then Krishna happily accepts. And Krishna's mercy as prasad also comes back reverse in the same direction. So that is the principle. That's why we say that for those who are not initiated, whoever is your guru that you have faith in, if it is not within ISKCON, it could be whichever other guru. If within ISKCON, at least Srila Prabhupada picture you should put on your altar. Minimum. You don't have to put the whole Guru Parampara either. That is included again as a upalakshan. Once Srila Prabhupada is there, he knows what to do. So minimum you should put Srila Prabhupada picture next to Krishna and then make all the offerings. Then it will be accepted.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
All right. Okay. So this question came online from Vikas Prabhu. And the question was, so somewhere in the previous classes, we said one should do very pure kirtan or naam jap or naam kirtan of Bhagwan. And the words that were used were to avoid naam aparadh, and to develop Nama Sneha. So what is the meaning of Nama Aparadha and Nama Sneha? What are the details? So that is the question, the do's and don'ts of Harinam Kirtan. Okay. So I'll go through it very quickly and I will point to some resources where you can get more details. So Nam Aparadh means 10 specific offenses to avoid while doing Nam Jap or Nam Kirtan. And all of these 10 are related to the consciousness. And 6 characteristics to imbibe during Nam Jap or Nam Kirtan. Specifically Nam Jap. And again, all of these are related to one's consciousness. So I will quickly go over these. And I had done a few years back, you can search on my YouTube channel, the 10 detailed discussion on the Ajamila pastime, the story of Ajamila from 6th canto, chapter 1, 2, and 3. As part of that, we had discussed the 10 Nam Aparadhas. Okay. Even better than that, my very dear teacher, Sri Hari Parshad Prabhu, has done also a detailed discussion of the 10 Nam Aparadhas and also the 6 characteristics of Nam Sneha in his Upadeshamrit series on his website. You search with Hari Parshad Das, you will find. And in the 7th verse of Upadeshamrit, you will find a detailed treatment of the 10 Nam Aparadhas as well as the 6 characteristics to imbibe. So you can go through all of these resources and get a very good understanding of what constitutes Nama Aparadha, what constitutes Nama Sneha. So I will quickly go through these. So I like to go directly to the Sanskrit instead of English translations. So here is a PDF. You can look for it or I can share it. Of the 10 Nam Aparadhas. So I will go through it quickly, but you can go through it in detail later or through the resources that I have mentioned, either the series I gave on 10 Nam Aparadhas or better, Sri Hari Parshad Prabhu. First, I will just summary. It is said Satam Ninda. Satam Ninda means do Ninda of the devotees of Bhagwan. Never do that. So these are the don'ts, the 10 offenses. These are the offenses. And therefore, you obviously want to avoid the offenses. So Satam Ninda means it's not like you should do Ninda of the devotees. What means is that this is an offense if you do it. And obviously, you should avoid it. So never criticize devotees. In a nutshell, there's a whole class on it. But for very brief, never criticize devotees of the Lord. Second one is Shivasya Shri Vishnor Ya Iha Guna Namadi Sakalam Dhiya Bhinnam Pashyet Sakhalu Hari Namahita Karaha. So basically it means to consider, and this Bhinnam, Dhiya Bhinnam is Dhiya Abhinnam and Dhiya Bhinnam. Neither to consider Shiva and Vishnu as separate from each other, nor to consider them to be exactly the same as each other. Both are offense, if you think. That means basically that you have to understand. And if you don't understand, just don't deal with this question. Are they same? Are they different? Just don't worry about it. But if you do happen to worry about the name of Lord Shiva, specifically, Lord Shiva is mentioned here. Shivasya Shri Vishnu. You must understand the tattva of Shiva very carefully. He is neither different nor same as Vishnu. Okay? In one sense, he is same, just like curd and milk. Brahma Samhita, verse number 45, I think. 45, or somebody can tell me. It's around that, 44, where the tattva of Mother Durga and Lord and Brahmaji and Shiva is explained. 45, yes, it's 45. So it's just like curd and milk. They are different, yet they are the same. Now here it is written, or Lord Brahma, but in the verse there is no Brahma. I don't see any Brahma here, but that's also, we'll deal with that later. Guror Avagya. One should never disobey. Avagya means to disobey or ignore or disrespect the Guru. Shruti Shastra Nindanam. One should never do ninda of, first verse says Satam, the devotees, or this fourth one is saying Shastra. Never criticize Shastra. If you don't understand Shastra, keep your mouth shut. Don't criticize. You may not understand it. Don't go telling the world Shastra is wrong. Okay? If you don't understand it, wait. Have patience or try to understand. Don't just start criticizing. This is now, all these may not be important for many people. You are not going around and criticizing devotees. You may not care about position of Lord Shiva. You're not going around disobeying the orders of spiritual master. Some of you may not even have spiritual master. So none of these may matter. Now this one is very important, Arthavad. Arthavad essentially means that you don't believe in the power of the holy name. You don't believe in it. You think holy name is an exaggeration. Holy name will deliver you from this material world. Arey, that is marketing. Just these people want me to take holy name and become part of their temple and give donation. Arey, holy name? What is this? And some people extend it even. What do you mean holy name? In my culture, I don't know, whatever. Some weird name. Kangaroo is holy name. So I should chant kangaroo, kangaroo, kangaroo. So one has to understand what is the meaning of this. That way, any name can become holy name and I will chant holy name. What do you mean? Kangaroo, kangaroo will have the same power? I will say kangaroo and I will get delivered. What is so special about Ram versus kangaroo, or Krishna versus kangaroo? All this is Arthavad. This is very important. Then Hari Namni Kalpanam. That to consider that the glories of the holy name. So I have heard the glories. So the first one is to not believe in the power. The second one is to ignore completely the results that it has caused in other devotees' lives. So one needs to clearly understand these two. Then this one, seventh one, very important. Namno balad yasya hi papa buddhir. That you are committing some papa, sinful activity, or even you have a menial, not menial, what is that? What's that word? Starts with an M. No, I mean bad mentality.
Malicious.
Malicious, yes, thank you. Malicious mentality. And you think, oh, I'm taking holy name, it will purify me. So you keep on either committing or, have this malicious mentality, which will ultimately result in actions which are malicious. And you think that Nam will take care. Namno balad. Like, like the son of Prime Minister. I will commit criminal activities and my father will save me because he is Prime Minister. So yeah, I take holy name, and it's okay if I commit sinful activities. Holy name will save me. That's an offense. Then dharma vrata tyaga hutadi sarva shubha kriya samyam api pramadah. Samyam and then api pramadah is the another one. So having the mentality that this chanting of the holy name or taking the name is as good as some other Vedic rituals for material benefit. Vedic rituals are for material benefit, like those Brahmana Patni Yagya, those Brahmanas who were doing to go to Swarga. So thinking that holy name will give some material benefits. Oh, I have this stomach ache, or I have some other problem, or need money, need job, whatever. I will take holy name, and in your heart you are thinking, I should get some material benefit. That's a offense. So these ones are applicable to many devotees, the ones later on. Then ashraddha dane vimukhe api shrinavati yascha upadeshaha shiva nam aparadhaha, which means forcing others to take name even when they don't want to. That's also an offense. This is called over preaching. Preaching is good, which means to go and tell people and then leave it at that. But some are aggressive salesmen. You should just put a banner. Here is a benefit. Okay? You can put it. If somebody comes to your shop, then give the product. But you shouldn't do like a, shove it down their throat. That is a aparadh. That's what it means. It is an offense to preach the glories of the holy name to the faithless. But how do you know if he is faithless or not? The practical understanding is try little, then back off if you see that, so don't over preach. Preaching is nice, but over preaching will be an offense. And thinking that, my life will only be successful if I can make him a devotee. Till then, my life is unsuccessful. There are 8 billion people on this planet living today. If he is not taking it, go to the next one. Don't waste your time. At the same time, don't cause offense to yourself. What will happen is such person will start hating it if you try to push it down their throat. And that's the offense. You made him hate it rather than accept it. And this one is the most important. Shrute api naam mahatmye yah priti rahito narah. And even after understanding the mahatmya of the naam, so what it means is that one must make effort to understand the naam mahatmya. Very important to understand the mahatmya of the naam, the power, the significance of the holy name by reading the chapters of Ajamil from Bhagavatam, from so many other places, Namashtakam by Sri Rupa Goswami, and so many other places, commentaries on the 7th verse of Upadeshamrit, Syat Krishna Nam Charitapi Sitapi Avidya Pittopatapta Rasanasya Narochikanu Kintva Darad Anudinam Khalu Saiva Jushta Swadvi Kramad Bhavati Tadgad Mulahantri. So this verse is clearly only talking about Nam. So to understand the significance of the holy name first, and then after having understood it, not developing preeti, not having taste for it. Till you get taste, try to keep understanding the Mahatmya. That is the point. Never leave the quest for understanding the significance till you get the preeti for Nam. Otherwise, your chanting will be mechanical. You should have firm conviction in your heart why you are taking the name and have taste for chanting. Okay. And then once you figure out the name, automatically aham mamadi paramo namni so api aparadhakrit. After understanding Nam Mahatmya, still you have aham mamadi paramo. You keep aham and mama, which means me and mine, as your topmost priority, which means the same thing as Preeti Rahit. If you have Preeti for Nam, then it is like a zero-sum game. If you have Preeti for Nam, Ma Maham will automatically go down. But if Ma Maham is Param, topmost, Preeti of Nam is obviously not the topmost, is not there. So it is telling the converse. So, but having that quest to develop taste for the holy name by understanding its Mahatmya, very important. And last one is being inattentive while chanting. So these are the aparadhs, the 10 aparadhs of the holy name. And I have told you for what kind of people, what you can see which ones apply to you. Guru or avagya, if you don't even have guru, okay, fine. You'll try to find a guru. That's another topic. But if you don't have guru, then guru or avagya doesn't apply. Yes, Radhakant Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I guess I missed the references you mentioned about understanding the Mahatmya of the name. What are the sources?
I mentioned Ajamil from Canto 6, chapters 1, 2, and 3, including all the commentaries by Acharyas on those topics. All right.
Okay.
Did you capture that? Canto 6, chapter 1, 2, 3, especially commentary by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Excellent commentary, very deep. Next.
Where do we find that, Prabhuji?
You can find it on Kindle by Bhanuswami in English. I mean, Sanskrit is available on Gaudiya Granth Mandir if you can read Sanskrit.
But English, okay. Got it.
Bhanuswami has Kindle, Sararth Darshini.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Prabhuji.
And Namashtakam by Sri Rupa Goswami. There is Harinam Chintamani by Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And there are many other sources also. But this should be a very good starting point.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Where was I? Yeah, sorry, today's this. I thought this will go fast, but I went into detail into Nam Aparadh. And then last point is 6 characteristics to imbibe from, this is Hari Parshad Prabhu's slide from one of the Upadeshamrit presentations that I was mentioning on verse number 7. So how to do Sneha Samyukta Nam with Sneha. Manah Samsmaranham Shaucham Maunam Mantrartha Chintanam Avyagratvam Anirvedo Japa Sampatti Hetavaha. So this is Japa Sampatti. To get the Hetavaha, in order to get the benefit, Sampatti. Now this is not material Sampatti, this is spiritual Sampatti. Sampatti means, kya bolenge? Treasure. Okay, wealth. The wealth of the holy name can be obtained by doing these 6 things. Manah Samharanam, which means focus the mind on the name. So, not while watching TV, for example. When you are chanting, fully focused as much as possible. If the mind goes away, bring it back. Okay? That applies because today we are not trained yet fully. Shaucham, cleanliness, both, and purity. Cleanliness means external. Shaucha has both external and internal meaning. And external, it is called cleanliness. So in a nice, clean place. But more importantly, internal cleanliness of the heart, which is purity. So what it means is, I have said this in previous classes, remove external entanglements. The more you remove external entanglements, you will have purity of heart. If you're always thinking of what will happen to this business, this person, that person, da 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 da, and then you are trying to take holy name, those things are competing for your attention. So try to remove all the competitors to the holy name that occupy your mind. Of course, you will never be able to remove hunger. So yes, that's why it is said minimum, whatever the bodily needs you have to satisfy, you satisfy. At a very advanced stage, even hunger can be conquered. That's a very advanced stage. But try to eliminate useless things in your life. This person said this, that person said that, this thing, that thing, that thing, that thing. Get rid of material entanglements, which are useless suckers of time and attention in our life. Maunam, silence, means in a quiet place where there is no noise, no disturbance. So if you're doing japa, sit in a quiet place, not where you're getting disturbed. Okay, if it is kirtan, obviously it's not quiet, but then the only thing is kirtan, you are absorbed in kirtan. Mantrartha chintanam, very important, is when you are chanting, the meaning of the mantra should be front and center in your mind. It shouldn't just be your lips. The mind should be engaged. And mantra can have so many meanings. Hare Krishna Mahamantra has at least 200 meanings, depending on the shraddha of the devotees. Pick a meaning, not pick, or for you, whatever meaning inspires you, or what your guru has given you. Again, so many criteria are there, but ultimately it means while chanting the mantra, meditate on the meaning of the mantra. Avyagratvam means not in a haste. Oh, and this is a problem when you take on a quantity. I have to chant so much today. So I don't know how to solve that, but at least some name, some amount, some quantity, do it without haste. That much will be the Sneha Samyukta. No haste, no rush. Not like I have to complete a number. Okay? Trying doing that with your girlfriend or boyfriend. I have to spend 2 hours with her. So you are spending time with your girlfriend and you are always looking at the watch. 2 hours done or not. She will not remain your girlfriend for very long. Right? Or he will not remain your boyfriend for very long. Isn't it? So you cannot look at the watch. Cannot look at the clock. No haste. And not with a dejection. No dejection. No like, again I have to do. This means all the things. What is this name? It's this Prabhu told me to do. Now he told me every day morning you have to come to temple and do. So taking it like a burden. Okay, so this is Sneha Samyukta Naam, especially with respect to japa, and there are more criteria that are given, but I think this is a lot already. This is japa sampatti. So this is for jap. Okay, all right. So we will stop here. Any final questions? All right, thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We have class tomorrow. Yes, we have Bhagavatam class tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific. And we have class next week. We have class next week also. We will complete chapter 9. Very important discussion on apichet su duracharo. Don't miss that. Very important discussion. All right. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhu,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you.